So I'm actually going to do the talk a little bit earlier tonight because then we can crack on with the rest of the night. But I've actually got something that I want to share with you that happened to me yesterday. Saturday. So Saturday I was in Morrison's buying flowers for my mum because obviously yesterday was Mother's Day. And obviously, I don't know if you guys know Talbot Morrison's, but they've got, like, to the right, they've got, like, this huge display. And there were all of these amazing flowers, like, all, bouquets and, like, big bunches. And, it was amazing. Like, the colours and everything there was just spectacular to look at. And I was, like, looking at all these flowers. And then I went round the other side. And the I suppose, buckets, barrels, whatever they are, they were sort of starting to go a bit empty because obviously everybody was buying. It was around lunchtime on Saturday, so a lot of people had already bought their flowers. Worst daughter of the year. I did buy her a vase, so we're all right. But I went around and I saw this really sad sight where all of these beautiful flowers were just sad and drooping over, and they were obviously flowers that had been completely discarded. Perhaps somebody picked them up and it fell out, and you're obviously not going to get to the till and be like, oh my gosh, my one single rose fell out of my bouquet of like hundreds of flowers. Let me go back and get it. Once it falls, it's gone. And I was looking at these flowers and I was just thinking, oh my gosh, these were once part of such an amazing display. They were once something that people would like, I want to invest in that, I'm going to buy that. But now people are looking at it, myself included, going, I can't buy that. I can't take that home. Oh my gosh, if I gave that to my mum, she'd be like, do you not love me? And so I got the flowers that I wanted and put them in my basket and I walked away. And it really stuck with me because I was walking around Morrison's and then on to the rest of my day, and I was thinking, is there anyone that would actually want those discarded flowers? Like, I wonder if there's like some sort of organisation that recycles flowers, going off on a tangent in your brain. But then I found myself, there was one singular rose that I remember, and it was the basket was here and it was drooped over as if it had just completely died, and it was just hanging over. And I was thinking to myself about that rose, and I was like, who would want that rose? Who would want that rose? And it got me thinking, sometimes that's what we are like. This is a rose. Oh my gosh, that's the wrong one. See, I just did it. Do you know what I mean? It's a thing. This is the rose I want. This is a rose. And this rose was once a part of a beautiful big bouquet. And now she's looking a bit tired. But this is what life is like for us sometimes. We are like this rose. A beautiful thing that is intelligently and lovingly designed that can get absolutely battered by life. And I mean, like, literally battered by life. Like, I'm standing on this rose and I'm picking away the petals, and that's what life does. Life literally rips us apart sometimes to the point where there's hardly anything left of us, and we're just broken. Now, if you saw that in a shop, would you buy it? Yeah. There's always one. But yeah, so you look at this and you think, I wouldn't spend 5 pence on that. Yeah, that's not, if I got a big bouquet here and this, I'm going to go for the other bouquet. And that is honestly what it's like with us sometimes. And this is how we can sometimes end up, and this is how we can feel. Perhaps your family's fallen apart. Perhaps your friendships are really difficult at the moment. Perhaps you are going through a really difficult time mentally. And this is sort of how we can present ourselves. And you know what? When I was asking myself, who would want this rose? That's what the world is like. Who would want to hang out with them? Who would want to invest their time in them? Who would want to actually say, I want to be their friend. I want to help them when they're looking like this and they're looking so broken. And, the world is like, why? Why on earth? Who on earth would want this? And Jesus says, me, I want the rose. I don't care. I want the rose. I want it even though it looks like this. I want it. I don't care. I don't care how broken you are. This is what I want. Because when he takes the rose, when he takes you and I, he looks at it and he says, do you know what? This is really, really sad. And I'm so sorry that this has happened to you. But I'm going to make sure that I start putting you back together again. And I can tell you now that there are so many instances where I've seen real lives changed by Jesus. People who have gone to him like this, in a really, really sad state of affairs, who have gone to him like this and have come out looking like this again, looking restored, looking brand new. I mean, don't get me wrong, this one doesn't look brand new. Imagine this is a real brand new rose. But looking like a brand new rose. And I suppose tonight, I just wanted you to know that if this is the way that you are, if this is the kind of rose that you are tonight, where you feel forgotten, you feel abandoned, you feel like you're the last person that everybody picks, you feel like you have no one, you feel like you're going to be left behind at the end of the day while everyone's gone home and they're all enjoying themselves, and then you go home and you're just this is what you feel. It doesn't have to be that way, because he takes this and he mends it. And he completely changes it. This doesn't have to be the end of your story. This doesn't have to be who you are, because Christ does so much more. And you know what? I can say this from my own point of view as well. After really suffering with my mental health, with anxiety, even last year, to the point where I literally came to church one Sunday and I had to leave again. I couldn't do it. Could not stay in church for longer than 5 minutes, which isn't like me. Church is my life, but I had to leave. And I went home and I was so broken. But as I handed it over to him, and as I said, you know what, I can't actually cope with the weight of this burden that life has put on me anymore. I just can't do it. I gave him this, and in return he gave me this. And that is what he does. He restores things that were broken, and he makes it 10 times better. And so I want you to know that that is open to you tonight, and that if you feel that you just need that restoration, that healing, the thing that you are really struggling with, or the things that you're just done. You're just like, I'm over feeling so horrible all the time. I'm overthinking, I'm overthinking everything. I'm paranoid. I haven't got many friends. My family is completely fallen apart. I'm carrying this weight. It doesn't have to be that way, because he longs to make you like a brand new flower. And I've just ripped that apart, I'm so sorry, he wouldn't do that. But he longs to make you like this. Brokenness does not have to be the end of your story. It was never meant to end that way. And so if there is anybody who would like to chat to me afterwards or whatever about kind of coming to know Jesus as your Saviour, to be like this rose, then please feel free to come and see me. But there is hope. That's what I want you to take away from tonight. There is hope. Jesus wants the rose. Jesus wants the rose. So don't think that you have to have it all together. You can literally come looking like that with everything on the floor. I've just realized how much of a mess I've made. I'm going to pick that up in a minute. But Jesus wants all of this, all of the horrible stuff, all the gritty stuff, all of the broken stuff. He takes all that and he restores it. And so that is open to you tonight. So let me know if you'd like to chat about it.